Greetings from Suffolk VA Homestead. If this is your first time, welcome. If you're a returning customer or subscriber or just person watching the video, welcome back. Today we're going to be starting or continuing the electrical portion of the metal building. I'm saying continuing because this is going to be a long process. I'm still waiting on estimates for insulation as well as getting the insulation. But I'm going to start getting a material list together for the building. I'm also waiting for the main power shutoff to come in as well. But I have this small breaker panel that we're going to end up using. Funny story with this. This was actually in a house I did a demo on. Demolition, for those of you that don't understand that. The panel I actually found while we were tearing out a closet wall. Someone was using this as a sub panel. So this panel was inside the house, inside a wall, beside the actual panel that came into the house. It was literally behind drywall. So obviously someone did something a little bit questionable there, and it was still wired up. So what it looked like had happened, someone had replaced the original fuse panel with a breaker panel. I can get this open. There we go. I'm upside down right now too, sorry. Someone had replaced the original fuse panel with a breaker panel and then decided that they needed more breakers. So they put a new breaker panel in and just wired this one directly into that, which is kind of scary. But the house was being demoed anyways. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tear this down, find out what I need to take out, and then we're going to get compile a list so that we can start gathering the materials we need to do this installation. So follow along and we'll see what kind of a mess we get into. Now you may be asking, why are we going to break this panel down? Well, I'll show you once we get into it. So, this is still good. It's got a couple block off plates. It gives us 12 points. Sorry about that. Well, there's cobwebs and crap all in here. I'm going to take these out. So, looking at this panel, (100-amp main), yeah, we're definitely going to need to clean it up. All right, we got no ground in here. So I'm looking at this. You get your two hots. So you got a hot here and a hot here. You then have your neutrals, which this will be your main grounding lug for your neutrals. And then you have all your breakers. But what I don't see is a grounding bar anywhere in here, which we're going to have a grounding bar. On top of that, I'm not sure what size tubing we're going to use to come in, and we're going to have to block off a lot of these because I'm using plastic conduit. So, yeah, we don't need, nice. They cut the back of the drywall screws off after they mounted it to this little stick. We'll use this as kindling. It's on. So when you flip that breaker off, you still have hot wires coming in here, but it kills the power from here to the breakers. I know that's required, but I'm going to be setting this up a little differently. I'm going to have a feeder panel coming into it. So wherever the power comes into this box and feeds into here, I'm going to have a separate main shutoff panel that's a 200 amp. And what that's going to do is that's going to afford me the possibility to expand on this if need be. If this 100 amps isn't enough for what I want to run, I can add to it. But even more importantly, if I need to get in here to work, to add more wires, to add another breaker or whatnot, I don't have to worry about any power in this panel while I'm working on it. So, all right, I'm back from the store. I just got a little QO Homelight grounding bar. Go ahead and open this up and see if any of the holes line up. So, yep, looks like 2 of the holes will line up. So I like that spot better. Don't know if you can see it, but right there, there's a dimple. So this kind of, if I center the one hole, kind of lines up with the rest. Sort of lines up with the rest. Comes from the meter, goes into the box, goes through a 200 amp breaker, and then back out and into the main of the house. So the idea that I have, and this is our cable box. So the idea that I have right now, we're going to basically tap this, pull straight off here, go straight down, follow this orange line through the tractor, and then into the back of the panel that I'm going to use to supply the power for the garage. Now, this is where I put the disclaimer in. I am not an electrician. I am not certified an electrician. I am not a certified electrician. I do have experience with electricity, but I have experience with component level. The power that I used to deal with hurts a lot. That power there, that will kill you 2,000 times over, plus. So I'm going to be burying the line. I'm also going to be careful because we got a lot of stuff going on over here. You got the main power coming in, you got the cable coming in, and you also have the ground for everything. We will be running a separate ground. So right now, the goal is to get the trench dug and get the conduit laid that we're going to eventually run the electricity through. When it comes time to hitch it up, the neighbor, who is a certified electrician and a Class A contractor in such, is going to help me run the wire and hitch it up. At least that's the theory. Don't know if it'll work, but we'll see what I can get done. He'll probably help. So Stick around as we dig a big hole in the backyard. And before I dig a big hole in the backyard, I want to apologize. I can see that line plain as day here, but I know some of you that are colorblind, this may be hard to see. So I promise there's an orange line there, and I apologize if you're colorblind and can't see that orange line. took a little time last night to install something else I got. I don't know if I covered this or not, but originally I picked this up on Amazon. This is a 200 amp shut-off switch, general duty safety switch. You can see the big red handle there. I was going to install this except for one small problem. It's not very small. It's about 2 times bigger than my breaker box. So when I was getting the stuff to do the electrical, I was just going to run a 125 amp cable into the breaker box. I found this. This is a 200 amp panel, or a 200 amp main breaker for indoor use. So I picked that up and I'm going to run it into our fancy little fuse panel here that is recycled. I have the breakers generally set up, but I got some more work to do in there. But this is what we're going to wire up. Now the trick that we're going to do next is we're going to basically go through the back so that we can hitch up this pipe to the so we're going to go ahead and remove this lid so that we can get to the knockout in the back and see where we can go from there. Anyways. Ow. My supporting beam, you can see it now. Right here, I got some of this wood. I need to take some of that out so that I can get my coupler in. Holy crap, that's loud. That worked. This. And my little leftover piece is going to go right in. Yep, I think we're good. Pull this off. And it's got some off-the-shelf 30-minute water-ready silicone so I can fill in the gap. So that we're waterproof. Or at least water resistant. While we're at it, we're also going to waterproof the main box. Ooh, that stuff is strong. Alright, so I'm going to pull this back, slide this down. There we go. Our electric should be all together. So the next step with this is going to be joining this box with this box. I'm not going to get to that today. And this video is probably getting pretty long, so I'm going to go ahead and end this here. I know, I got half the wiring done there, half the wiring done here, half the wiring done going to the house, but don't worry, we'll get it completed. We just need a little bit more time. And hopefully in the next video, we will have the electric in enough so that we're not running an extension cord for the lights. At least that's the goal. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Please pound that thumbs up button, aka like, share, subscribe. It helps us out, which helps you out, because the more you help us, the more motivated we are to continue making videos and posting them up. So, hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next episode. Hopefully my head isn't cut off, but greetings from the Yankee. Yeah. He's the Yankee, all right.